Hi peoples, it's me Gabrielle, aka your girl fabgogg, back at it again with another Speedpaint video. However, this time we will not be redrawing any of my old art, instead we will be making something new. So today we are drawing the cover of my webcomic, which is so exciting and I'm absolutely in love with how it came out. So I also wanted to do a little history lesson, a little lore recap, a little refresher, and also with some new information, because this world is multifaceted. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm not trying to have y'all get confused with any of the information going on when the comic eventually releases. I don't know when that's gonna be. Silly me. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So let's jump right into it. So, Dispatera, such a beautiful country. What a wonderful country. How did it even come to be? Where are we right now? Like, what is Dispatera? How did it, where, why? How, who, what, where, when, why? So, Dispatera was founded by Todd Hayes way back in the day. How many years ago, you may ask? Some time ago. But what's more important is that the story takes place in 2080. Damn, Daniel! I needed to pick a year that also had April 20th land on a Saturday. So that's also why that is that date. Gabrielle, why is it so far in the future? Because World War III happened. Huh? That's why Dispatera is a thing. Because, you know, people are too busy fighting over culture and religion and race and all of these issues that they done started a darn war over it and reset the whole entire world. And people were like, you know what, screw this. We should set our differences aside when it comes to race and religion. We should try and build back and focus on things that are more important, that are more, you know, we need to unite. We have to stand up against the bigger problem at hand. What is that bigger problem at hand? Class issues. No, not like going to school, but I mean class issues in the sense of, oh wow, certain people have way too much money in this world, and maybe it's an issue. And maybe how much money you have shouldn't translate to how much power you have. But that is the reality when it comes to the Hayes family. Like I mentioned before, Seth Hayes and his family are the presidential family of Dispatera. Dispatera is a plutocracy, so the richest person has all of the power. And I have explained that in my past lore videos, so go check those out if you haven't already. So since this takes place in 2080, way far in the future, there is a big reset from World War III. That is a cultural war that happens around 2030-ish. Just, you know, just saying, hey, what if it did happen and it was for those reasons? You know, I'm going to school right now for international relations and diplomacy, and I'm a hoe for culture and I'm a hoe for learning different languages. And that's why most of my characters, or pretty much all my characters, are either mixed or speak a different language than I speak. I speak Arabic and Chinese. So I love all that stuff. And I love culture mixing, especially because I think it's really cool. And there's a lot of cool research that's done on it. But okay, that's me blabbering and me going on. I digress. So 2080. Yes, the 80s, the second coming of the 80s. Something fun that I thought would be cool about doing this story in this year is to have similar technology to the 80s, not perfectly one-to-one ratio to the 80s, but things like Walkmans and just using cassette tapes, and TVs aren't really a big thing in Dispatera. Sure, you gotta be really, really rich if you want to have one, but screens aren't really a thing. That's where it kind of goes into like maybe the 70s or the 60s, 50s, 40s. It's a big, the war took a toll on the earth. So there is no internet, mind you. And there's also, you know, the television isn't really a big thing, at least in Dispatera, but who knows in other places of the world? I don't. This is going to be really funny because this video is just going to be me trying to dodge my way around things because I don't want to spoil things. And yeah, also about this art, I screwed up Keiko's hair part. And I also wanted Jace to be on the right side and not the left side because his good side is the right side. So that's why I totally flipped this drawing around and like totally pretty much did a 180 with it horizontally. But yeah, okay. Back to the history. let's get to it. No cell phones, no internet, nothing like that. There are telephones. You can have a Walkman if you want to listen to music. There's cassette tapes. People communicate with radios. There are phones, like if there's like a payphone or something, but that's not really too common to see, especially from the Civil War that broke out in Dispatera, because a lot of things got destroyed between the North and the South. North is where the rich people are. The South is where the poor people are. So you're not going to see a lot of that, especially in the South. So going back to the racial and religious side of things, since there is so much racial mixing and cultural mixing in this story, a lot of people don't really judge people based on their race anymore. I thought it was a very interesting take on my part, just because I was like, what if this, like, we take some factors out of the mix of what causes conflict, both domestically, internationally, globally, whatever it is, and have at least just one big overarching problem that everyone, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're struggling with, no matter, what language you speak, whatever it may be, something that affects everyone on a universal spectrum, and that's money and how much you have. And money translating to power, hence plutocratic government. Dispatera was founded, again, by Seth's great-great-great-grandfather? I don't really know, because a lot of people be getting killed off, as in Seth's family, because a lot of people don't like them, but a lot of people do like them. So you're just going to have to wait to see the details of what goes down with that. So you'll learn more about the Hayes family very soon. But as for Dispatera itself as a country, it was founded to be a mining district, a mining country. The South in particular is the mining district of the entire country. The North is more so the business side of things, where they take care of trading and relations, political stuff, all those high-ranking jobs and whatever. Not really the quote-unquote blue-collar jobs that the South usually takes care of. Pretty much the whole overarching driving force of me creating this story, I have to give credit to going to college, even though my path of college like totally flip-flopped around, because I went into college having an exact idea of what I was going to do, and then that got flipped upside down, and then it got flipped upside down again in like sophomore year, like 2 years ago, because I just was really lost, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. And then I had a light bulb moment, and I was like, holy moly, wait a minute, all this stuff is so interesting to me. What if I just made up my own scenario, made up my own story with governmental corruption and all of these cool law things that I've learned, and just made a comic, made a graphic novel, made a book, made a webcomic, whatever you want to call it as, and just make something. So that's pretty much the reason why I started writing this and started creating this, because I was like, okay, if I'm going to be in school for another 2 or so years, might as well give myself a reason to still pay attention, pretty much. Hence, Dispatera's Divide was born. The past 2 years I've been writing it, Act 1 at least, and the whole summer I've been drawing the comic panels, and I'm so beyond excited to share it with everyone. I am scared, but I'm also very confident that people are really going to fall in love with it as much as I've fallen in love with it. As far as the history lesson went, I don't want to spoil too much, but the foundations that we went over, I feel like we're pretty solid in setting the scene and setting the foundation of going into this comic. And whether or not you do know this information or not, I feel like it still works. You can, the prologue explains enough. There's enough info drops that happen throughout the comic, and I'm just really proud of myself for creating this world and creating this. And the fact that it's coming out soon is literally, I'm gonna do like a backflip.
Do a flip!
Even though I can't even do a backflip, but I'm going to. I'm gonna try to, and I'll probably break my neck in the process. But yeah, so history lesson, pretty much complete. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about this drawing, because I always got to do a little drawing debrief or whatever. So how you're watching me draw this comic is pretty much the same techniques that I used, while, did I say drawing this? Yeah, drawing this comic it's what I used for drawing this cover. So how all of the coloring, like the flat colors, are on the same layer. I do that for speed purposes. And the shading, I kind of did it flip-flopped. I did it backwards where I paint bucketed the purple color onto the person and just erased where the light was hitting and just rendered from that. I usually do that if there's only one light source or a majority of the room is dark. And I think the lighting looks pretty sick and swag in this picture. Like I really outdid myself. This is probably one of my favorite drawings that I've done in a very long time. In conjunction with like, I guess like my bloodbath drawing. I freaking love that one too. So these two are sharing first place right now because I just, chef's kiss. I really outdid myself. And I really wanted to outdo myself because it's the cover. It's what people are going to see at first. And also with the art style and my mode of rendering, I wanted people to know what they were getting when they were getting themselves into this comic and reading it and what they were to expect from the art style. So it's just, it's getting me so excited.
A day will become just nothing at all. I've seen enough things to lose hope, and here I am still growing. I am even stronger now. I'm trying to hide from the demons inside my mind. There's nowhere to go, no matter how hard I try, they show. I've tried a million different ways to leave. Oh my, why can't I not find the key? It's too dark, no one shows me how to see. No, I don't wanna fall too deep.
Another few things that I did want to share is this comic is definitely like, you're going to be in for the long haul. It's a lot of information. It's a story and a half, and in just act one alone, there's a lot going on. So number one, just finishing the script alone. When I finished that back in May, I almost passed out. Like, I was in awe that I was able to do that while also keeping up a 3.7 GPA in school with all of the classes I was taking. I have no idea how I managed to do that. And I'm on my senior year of college. So I'm just going to do it again just to get through so I could work on this comic pretty much full time because I am absolutely in love with it. And I know that you guys are going to be in love with it. And the amount of support that I've been getting on this channel and my Instagram and the fan art and the fanfics and things that have been sent to me, just, it blows my mind that I've been able to create this community, number one, in such a short amount of time, and also the hype around it. Even if this comic isn't even out yet, even though it's going to be coming out very soon, like very soon, like I could almost taste it. Oh, I don't know, but yeah. So here's the finished product. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, even though it was kind of all over the place, but hey, that's okay. I gave a little history. I gave a little insight into the background of me creating this story that I'm so excited to share with you guys. Like, I'm beyond, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the cover in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, ciao, ta-ta, toodles.